This
Instance of
conference
class
will now be
into
recorded.
obj validate. It can be created under process category. You can implement the logic related to validation by using functions, and you can write the logic related to more than one property. And validate rule can be called from validate rule. It can be called from flow action under validation tab. And validate rule will get executed when we click on submit button in the flow action, which means that the validate rule is server side validation. Validate rule is what? Server side validation. On click of submit, it will get executed. It is server side validation. And moreover, apart from this, what else? You can call validate rule from activity by using a method. What was the method? Obj validate. You can call the validate rule from activity also by using obj validate. Okay, so let's go ahead now and look at working with validate rule for a business requirement. Everyone write down. Working with validate rule. Write down. Validate customer details form. Validate customer details form for the below 595. Huh? Validate customer details form for the below. Write down. Last name should not be same as first name. First one is last name should not be same as first name. Second one, age should be between 18 and 65. Age should be between 18 and 65. Third one, zip code, length of zip code should be 6 digits. So our intention is to use different functions here. Length of zip code should be 6 digits. Okay, length of zip code should be what? 6 digits. So that is what we are going to implement now. Okay, so here you go now. So working with validate rule, we are going to implement customer details form. Validating customer details form. Customer details form. So we are going to proceed with all the steps related to creating all these rules. You can start writing design algorithm by yourself going forward. And first we are going to create validate rule. So what do we need to do? Creating validate rule. First, where do you need to create? See, I'm going to create a validate rule now to validate customer form. Customer form already present or not? Customer form is already available. Where it is available, in which class? In which class it is available? We should know that. So you can you can make a transaction and see the customer details form. This is the customer details form, live UI, and the respective flow action. You go to flow action. Okay, this is the flow action. Okay, and in this flow action, you can see here action tab. Validation tab. Here you will be calling validate rule that you are going to create. You need to create the validate rule in the same class as your flow action and same application context. Better you can click on edit icon here to create it. That's it. Understand everyone clear? Okay, so here you go now. So validate rule I'm going to create now. It should come under framework application. Context we have chosen previously, framework application. And here you go now. This is validate customer form. Validate customer form. Create and open. So what is the property for this? So I want to display error message on last name property. I have chosen last name and click on add. Click on add. So I'm going to click on add. So once you click on add, you can select a function here. What is the function? So suitable function you have to choose. I wanted to see last name is equal to first name or not. If it is equal to, then I will display error message. So for that you can use functions. First string equals ignore case of second string. Means first string and second string entered are same, then I'll display error message. So I'm going to display last name. If last name is equal to first name, then display error message. What is the message? You can write the message in double quotes, or you can create a message rule also. Okay, anything is okay. I'll create a message rule. Just wait. Click on edit icon to create message rule. Let me click on edit icon here. So once you click on edit icon here, it will ask you to create message rule, and this is first last name error, some error. Okay, create and open. And here category error, and what is the message I can give? So classification doesn't have any impact, but you can choose. This is insufficient, invalid inputs. I can choose it to be invalid inputs. The error message is last name. Otherwise, I can say first and last name must be different. So like this, I can write some message. Save this. Just hold on. Save. Done. Go back to validate rule. Go back to validate. Let me go back to validate rule here. This is the validate rule. Click the down arrow. You will see the message rule. So like this, for every message, you can create one message rule, or you may be typing the hard coded text. Anything is okay. Click on add one more condition. Just hold on. Add one more condition. See here, add one more condition. Click on plus icon. This time, what is this? Age. Age. Select a function. What is the function? Age. First number relation second number. So if age is less than, 18, means below 18, I'll or click on plus icon there to add one more condition. Click on plus icon to add one more condition, and select a function. First number relation second number. Again, if age is less than 18 or age is greater than 65, above 65, below 18 or above 65, I'll write double quotes. I'm writing message. Age must be between 18 and 65, including. 18 also okay, 65 also okay, but below 18 or above 18 is not. Next, add one more. What is the next one? Zip code. Click on plus icon, zip code. Zip code, and click on add. And what is the function? Expression evaluates to true. Choose expression evaluates to true, and click on gear icon, expression builder, functions, length function. I'm going to use what? Length function. Length. So length of zip code. If length of zip code not equal to 6, length of zip code not equal to 6 means either more than 6 digits or less than 6 digits, then we will be displaying a message. What is the message we will display? Saying that zip code must be 6 digits. Okay, like this I am displaying. Submit this. Save. Done. Save. So now call this validate rule from customer details flow action. From customer details flow action. Save this. Where is customer details flow action? You can open it by using live view and all. Click the down arrow. Check out this. In the validation tab, click the down arrow and choose validate customer form. Save this. Save. Now create a case and test it. Let's test it now. So when it gets executed, we will see vehicle insurance. This is the screen which we are expecting. And here you go, first name. Intentionally, I'm going to enter same name. So what is happening now? Okay, on refresh, nothing will happen. Age 12. Okay, submit. Click on submit. So the moment you click on submit, what's happening now? It is throwing error. On click of submit, validate rule got executed, which means that validate rule is server side validation. It is server side validation. And here you go, age 25 and zip code 25. I mean, like 6 digits I have entered. So this time if you submit, it will accept. If you enter more than 65 also, it should not accept. You can test it once again if you want to test. $66 also not it. Okay, so 65 is okay. $65 is first name, last name. So 65 is accepted. So like this, you can implement server side validation by using rule obj validate. Understand everyone? Clear? Okay, so this is about rule obj validate. Next we are going to discuss about next type of validation rule, rule edit validate. What is the one? Edit validate. Generally, edit validate is an instance of class rule edit validate which can be created under data model category. Rule edit validate where we can create? We can create under data model category. Okay, a rule edit validate can be created under data model category. So you can go to edit validate here. Okay, and you click on create and then proceed forward. But here you need to write some source code of Java. Okay, even though you have to write here, it is not a big deal. You will not be getting a chance in your lifetime to create edit validates generally. Okay, generally it is not recommended to create by yourself. Pega provides so many OOTB edit validate rules. You can see here. Go to data model, edit validate. So these many edit validate rules are already present available in the system. So valid phone number, usually if you open this, it is going to verify whether the given phone number is in a valid format or not. It's a valid phone number which contains a dash and plus sign and country codes. Like that, it is valid. If you want to validate whether the phone number has plus symbol, hyphen after the country code like that, you can directly use this. No need to write by yourself. Even though it is Java coding, it is all about if conditions. When you're working with validation, means keep some property called some value like that. Okay, but as a developer, you should understand it. I mean, like you should understand to learn edit validates. That's why we need to focus on it. Look at here, an edit validate rule. After you create, you would be calling edit validate rule on a property. Where would you call edit validate? You would be calling edit validate rule on a property under advanced tab. Advanced tab, here you will be calling it. These are all edit validate rules. These are all edit validate rules. So some of the edit validate rules which we regularly come across in our applications will already be available here. You can see here.
చెప్పిన మాట్లాడి నువ్వు కావాలని వేసుకొని ఇప్పుడు 450 అంటే నేను ఇయ్యా నాకు సంబంధం లేదు.
See here, date MMDDYY. MMDDYY means by looking at the name of the edit validate itself, you should be able to easily understand what is it all about. Can you tell me what is this all about? This is for a given date, you are expecting it to be in the form of month, date and year. You are expecting it to be in that form. If that is not in the given format, then
it's an error.
It will show error message. The error message will see how to write our own message and all. And apart from this, I'll show you other edit validate. Contains space. Then when would you go for this? Suppose you are requesting customer to enter phone number. In between he has entered space. Is that okay? Suppose not okay. Let's say we don't accept any spaces. In that case, you can use contains space edit validate. And let's go with more. Here you go. Is future date. What is this? If the entered value is a future date, then it will throw error message. You're expecting it to be always past it. But if the entered date is future date, it will throw error message. Is integer or is letter or digit or space is non-negative integer. Let me open this. Is non-negative integer. So I have opened is non-negative integer. See here, this is the logic overall. See, if I call this is non-negative integer edit validate on a property, then at runtime, value that you are going to assign to that property will come into this Java coding. Automatically, it will get into Java coding, and the logic will execute against that clipboard value. And based on the logic here, if the value is a non-negative integer, okay. Else, it will throw error message. Understand? Look at here. Where is the exact logic? This is the exact place where the logic is. You don't need to understand overall fully. If the value entered is less than 0, means it is a negative value, then it will throw error message. Understand everyone? So that is how it is going to verify whether the given value is non-negative integer or not. And one more important point is the entire logic that is going to proceed will be done on a variable called the value. It is very, very important. So if you are going to call this edit validate rule on property 1, value of property 1 from clipboard will be assigned into this logic. It will be assigned to which variable? The value. Similarly, same edit validate I can call on another property also, right? If I call it on some other property, property 2, value of property 2, what is there on clipboard, will flow into this logic and will get assigned to which property, which variable? The value variable. Understand everyone clear? So this is how process command is going to take the value from clipboard and take into the code, and it will take into the code to a variable called the value, and again they are assigning the value to another variable and writing the logic on another variable. It depends. So it is very easy to understand even if you don't know about programming. But in your enterprise application development, given a business requirement, you should not create edit validates at all, even though you are an expert in Java. You should always deal with rule obj validate. If not possible at all, and the logic is complex, then only you will go for edit validate. So usually a developer in an experience of 3 to 4 years also, not even one time they will be getting a chance to create edit validate. Most of the times you use existing edit validate. Other than that, if you have to create edit validate rule, the easiest way is you take one of the edit validate, copy its code and customize little bit according to your need. That's it, it will be done. Okay, that's how it is easy. Okay, let's go ahead and work on edit validate rule to create one by ourselves. Okay, same age validation will perform so that we can easily understand whether this is executing client side or server side, where we are going to see how to return our own custom error message. Okay, everyone write down working with edit validate. Working with edit validate. We created a document for you, right? Working with edit validate. Write down validate age property. More points I'll tell you after the practical is done. Okay, validate age property for the below. Validate age property for the below. Write down if age is less than 18. If age is less than 18. Display a message. Display a message. Minors not eligible. Okay, age is what? Minors not eligible. Right now, if age is greater than 65, what is that? If age is greater than 65, display a message, senior citizens not eligible, like that. Okay. So we will do this by edit validate. So validating age, validating age. See, to do this, it is very simple. See, as I just now I have shown you, is non-negative integer. There is one edit validate called is non-negative. Is non-negative integer logic is it is verifying the value is less than 0 or not. If we change this logic from less than 0 to less than 18, greater than 65 like that, then we will get our own validation. But you should not disturb the OOTB one. Is non-negative integer, they might have used in Pega so many places. You have to create a new one where you need to copy of this code and customize it. Okay, so let's implement this to be between 18 and 65. So design to do this, let's take OOTB edit validate. What is the name of the edit validate? Is non-negative integer. Save as with a new name, to create new one, then customize it, according to your name. This is OTP one. How do you find out this? You can simply do this. Let me close everything. You can type here and search. Is non-negative integer. Is non-negative integer. Here you go. Okay, and here you go now. And this one, this is the coding that is already. Now save as to create a new one. Save as to create a new one. So remember one thing, when you do save as, you should change the name. Without changing the name, if you make modifications, that will even disturb is non-negative integer. So remove this, and what is the new name I can give? Age validation. Let's say age validation. Simply like this. I'm giving age validation, create and open. And now what are you going to do? So this is the logic. So what is the appropriate place to make changes? See here, this is the place where we need to make the changes. The last return true, you should not remove it, leave it. So here, if I input less than 0, this is for integer they are searching. Now we are going to wait for less than 18. If I input less than 18, then here you go. What you need to do? Error message, your own error message. For that, you need to remember this. There is no other go. The coding is the property dot add message. The property dot add message. And here you go now. What is the message I have to add? Minus not eligible. Minus not eligible. This is the message I wanted to. Everyone clear?
How the
Minus
font came?
I'm sorry. What was that?
How font came in red color, like as you typed?
I typed manually. I'll give you this. I'll copy paste this in the notepad also. If I input greater than 65, if I input greater than 65, then seniors are not eligible. Senior citizens not eligible. Like this, I just copy pasted and given this. This is the piece of code that I have written. Okay, save, done, completed. Now I created an edit validate. I wanted to know whether it gets executed on refresh itself or not. So I'll refresh my UI whenever I enter a value to the age. So call this edit validate on age property. On age property. See here, if you remember, age property was already present, where the age property, I think it is there in version 1. It is there in version 1. So what should I do now? That you should know. Usually when you save as properties, it will prompt like this, already existing and all. There's nothing to do. Click OK and proceed. Go to advanced tab. Advanced tab. So in the advanced tab, you can see here, use validate. What is the validate rule? Age validation. Age validation and then save. So now refresh the section on change of age. Refresh customer details section on change of age. So let's refresh it. Where is customer details section? Just give me a minute. Okay, so this is what we have here. Okay, so on change of age, you know how to refresh. So on refresh of this, let us see if obj validate is getting executed or not. On change, refresh. On change, refresh. Submit. Save. Okay, completed. So now you can create a case and test it. Create a case and test it. Okay, look at here now. Vehicle insurance. And here you go. So intentionally for OBJ validate also to fail, I'm entering the same value. Gender male, age 12. So the moment I tab out, what is happening? Edit validate got executed, but rule OBJ validate has not been executed. Rule OBJ validate will get executed only when you click on submit, but rule edit validate will get executed when you click, when just on refresh itself. So rule edit validate is client or server? Client side validation. Rule edit validate is client side or server side validation. And I'll be further going through this and then submit. Now the moment you submit, you see here rule OBJ validate now got executed. So rule OBJ validate executed on submit, whereas rule edit validate got executed on refresh. So which one is client side and which one is server side? Validate is server side, edit validate is client side. Edit validate is client side. Everyone clear? So this is about rule OBJ validate and rule edit validates. Everyone clear? So rule OBJ validate and rule edit validate differences. What are the differences? In rule OBJ validate, you see here, in rule OBJ validate, we have seen already, we use functions. But in rule edit validate, we will be writing Java source code. And rule OBJ validate, one validation rule can have the logic of validation for more than one property. We have already done that. 3 properties we have done. But rule edit validate logic is only for one property. You cannot write a logic here for 2 properties. If you want this for 2 properties, call on each property separately. Okay, this is another difference. And the third one is rule OBJ validate is specific to the flow action. Is specific to flow action on which you call it. Because these properties are used in another screen, it won't run automatically. Only when you call it, it will get executed. Okay, and now the next one is rule edit validate is specific to only one property on which you call it. That is specific to one screen, is specific to one property, but rule edit validate gets executed everywhere throughout the application wherever you use this property. Can you tell me what is the reason for this? What is the reason for this?
On click, we have given the event on click
Because
event.
this is applied on property itself. See, this property used in screen 1 or screen 2, screen 3, screen 4, screen 10, or activity, data transfer, anywhere wherever you use the property, then rule edit validate will get executed. But rule OBJ validate is specific to the screen where you call it. Understand, everyone clear? And rule edit validate is client side, rule OBJ validate is server side. So why rule edit validate is client side even though it has Java code? Usually Java code is server side execution. But how come this is behaving client side execution? The reason is it has been implemented with the concept of Ajax. That is internal design of Pega. We don't need to bother about it. So this question they may ask you during interviews. How come rule edit validate is client side getting executed even though it has Java code? That is because of internal Ajax calling. Okay, that is there in the interview questions document. Okay, everyone clear? So this is about rule OBJ validate and rule edit validate. Okay, differences. And proceeding further, we are going to discuss about declarative rules. In the declarative rules, we are going to talk about declare constant. Okay, that is again validation related. After that, remaining declarative rules. First, let me explain about declarative rules. But before that, any questions, any doubts? Anyone has any questions, any doubts? Huh?
We use this rule OBJ validate and edit validate in activities also, right?
Yeah, OBJ validate and
edit validate we use in activities also, right?
We can call in activities. Edit validate you can call by using property validate method. That is there in interview question document. OBJ validate, I told you, OBJ validate method.
Okay.
What is the question offline?
So actually, so when we use that in activity, so after submit, will it work or like how it works
See,
as soon as the
it depends
activity?
on where you call it. See,
Okay.
on refresh itself, if I call an activity, then when it will get executed? On refresh only it will get executed, correct?
Okay.
On submit, if you call activity and in the activity, if you wanted to validate, then on submit it will work. It depends on where you call.
Okay.
Server side, either server side. Yes. Okay. Do we need to add change event on edge control in edit validate rule? It will not take action even without defining an action event. It will take. Okay, without defining action event also, we can do it. That is related to other options. Okay. Next, any other doubts? Any questions? Anyone else has any other questions? Okay. Next, we are going to discuss about declarative processing and declarative rules. See, so far we worked on so many different rules in Pega. Like we worked on when rules, we worked on data transforms, we worked on what else? Activities, sections, all this. Suppose let's take when rule. What is the purpose of when rule? When rule can be used to define condition. So if you want to define a condition, then you would go for when rule. See, wherever you want this condition to be executed, suppose in 5 different screens I want this condition, then all the places I have to call when rule, right? Without calling it won't get executed, correct? So it is not only when rule, all the rules that we have worked on till today, any rule, if you want its definition to be executed, utilized, you must call the rule, then only it will get executed. At the appropriate places you have to call it. Then what about this particular rules, other rules like declarative rules? There are some rules called declarative rules. Declarative rules gets executed without calling, so there is no need to call. You create and leave it. Just I'll tell you an example. Imagine similar to when rule I'm creating. Okay, let's say I have A is equal to B plus C, for example. Like in a data transform I'm doing. Similarly, this is a declarative rule. For example, there is a declarative rule 1. So in which the definition is A is equal to B plus C. So you are assigning a value of A, which is sum of B and C. If this is a declarative rule, this gets automatically executed. There is no need to call. So without calling, how it will get executed? At exactly at what moment it will get executed? That is the question here. That is, anywhere throughout your application, if you use the property B or C, somewhere you might be using it, right? Activity data transform, or maybe in the sections somewhere. Anywhere throughout the application, wherever you use the properties either B or C, automatically declarative rule will get executed. Automatically declarative rule. Not only this declarative rule, there are few other declarative rules. This is just I am telling an example. Declarative rules gets executed automatically whenever we use the properties that involved in the definition of the declarative rule. So the properties that are involved in the definition of declarative rule, these properties you use somewhere in the application anywhere. The moment you use it at runtime, it will internally execute declarative rule. Understand everyone? And thus the respective thing will be done. So I'll show you the declarative rules. So there are everyone clear with this point? How declarative rules gets executed automatically? Declarative rules gets executed automatically based on the properties that you are using. These properties, if involved in declarative rules, automatically declarative rules will run. But not all declarative rules. Look at here. Declare constraint, declare expression, declare on change. These three depends on properties. Data page is also declarative rule. This depends on page name. The moment you mention page name, source rules will run. Okay, caching concept. And declare trigger, declare index. Declare trigger and declare index. These two rules depends on database. These are depends on property changes, right? These are depends on database. We'll see in future. And this is whenever you refer the name. D_page 1. The moment you refer it, it will look up the clipboard, not there, execute all source rules. Understand everyone clear? So these three are based on the properties. The properties that are involved in the declarative rules, if used anywhere throughout the application, automatically the respective declarative rule will get executed. Whatever the definition that is there in the declarative rule is going to function accordingly. Everyone clear? So let's go ahead now and I'll show you about one of the first declarative rules, which is for validations again, that is declare constraint. Declarative rules you create under decision category. These declarative rules. Constraints, I'm going to choose constraints, open this and some name. And this is how the definition of constraint rule is going to. This is the definition. You can choose when declare constraint rule is for the purpose of validation. What is the purpose? Validation. When gender is equal to male, for example, when gender is equal to male, requires that age greater than 18. Else display message. Male should be 18 or okay, 21 or more. Okay, and this is age. I'll display this message on age property. See here, if you observe, you are seeing two conditions. You are seeing two conditions. One is gender male, another one is age 21, greater than 20. Actual condition here is age. The required condition is age greater than equal to 21, but not always. Age greater than 21 when gender is male. Suppose if I enter gender equal to female, age value 20, it will not throw any error message. This is called dependency validation. The validation of one property depends on another property. It is not independent. Understand? So this dependency validation you can define in declare constraint rule. Another thing is wherever you create it and leave it. Anywhere throughout your application, if you are going to assign a value to gender or age, automatically this constraint rule will get executed and it will display error message accordingly if it is falling into the condition. Understand everyone clear? It is very simple. There is nothing much to discuss. Declare constraint rule for purpose nd. What is the purpose of declare constraint rule? It is used to validate. It is used to perform validation of a property which is depending on another property again. Another property, and it gets executed without calling. Wherever throughout the application, anywhere, if you're going to access this properties, automatically it will get executed. Make sense? Everyone clear? Okay, so write down business requirement. Same requirement we'll implement. We'll see which one is getting executed out of these three. Okay. Working with declare constraint. Working with declare constraint. Working with declare constraint. Everyone write down.
Sir, in the previous example, age is dependent on gender, correct?
Yes, yes, correct. Age is dependent on gender.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Write down. Validate age based on gender. Validate age based on gender. Validate age based on gender. Right up next one. Validate age based on gender. If gender is male, age must be 21 or more. Gender is male, age must be 21 or more. Validate age based on gender, and if gender is male, age must be 21 or more. Similarly, gender is female, age must be 18 or more. Like that you write. Gender is female, age must be 18 or more. See, for one property, you will not create these many different validation rules. Here we wanted to understand it, which one get executed and how. That's why we're doing it. So again, validating age based on. Okay, look at here now. Let's create a declare constraint rule. Creating declare constraint rule. Creating declare constraint. So let me create this, and here you go now. Framework. Properties in framework, right? Even you can get an implementation also. That's okay. Create decision constraints. Somewhere it should be available. Name of this one is, let's say, age constraint. Age constraint. Create and open. You see this. So when gender, you need to choose when gender is equal to male, then requires that age greater than 20. 20 means 21 is okay, kada? Greater than 20 means it should be 21 or more. Otherwise, you display message male age must be 21 or more. Okay, and where you display this message age. So add one more condition. Add one more condition. Then gender is female, requires that age greater than 17. Female age must be 18 or more. Okay, save this. Now this will be evaluating age, which is based on gender. If I enter the value 19 for gender female, it will accept. But the same 19 value for gender age, it won't accept. Okay, let's create a case and test it. Remaining things I don't want to disturb. Here you go. Age 19. Male 19. Otherwise, I'll enter 22, 21. 21 is accepted. I'll change it to female. Female 19. Accepted or not? I'm sorry. Female 19. ఏమవుతుంది delete అవ్వట్లేదు. Female 19 same 19 value when I enter for male it did not accept, but same 19 value when I enter for female it has accepted. So that is dependency validation. Okay, so this is how you need to deal with declare constraint. So but I created declare constraint, but did I call declare constraint anywhere? Did we call it? We did not call declare constraint rule, but we just created it and left it. Is this only this screen it will get executed? No, in some other screen, if I am going to enter the value of age or gender, if I am going to choose, automatically there also it will get executed. So everywhere, wherever you call, automatically, wherever you use the properties like age or gender, automatically declare constraint will get executed because that is a declarative rule. Understand everyone clear? So declarative rule is for the purpose of automatic execution, first thing. And in that declarative rule, constraint rule is for validating. And what type of validation it is again? Dependency validation usually. Okay. It need not to be two, it can be even one property also. That's a different thing actually. Okay, this is how you can work on declarative constraint rule. Conditions vary ఎందుకుంటే difference. అప్పుడు declarative rule change చేయాలి. You have to change the declarative rule itself. If there is something like you need to modify that age, it is not 21, it is 23, then you need to modify the same in the declarative rule. Everywhere throughout the application, this constraint will work the same way. Okay, clear? So far we have worked on so many rules, multiple rules in Pega, and all of you, how your practical sessions are going on. See, for your doubts clarification, you can watch the video again, you can go through documentation, and you can go through theory documents. All these will help you for clarifying the queries. Okay, and even some people are asking me, that's a different case, but for every single doubt it is impossible to come back to you. Okay, and another thing is, many people are there making mistake just not following documents. It's simple mistakes. Okay, for that also you are sending screenshots. See, it is always a learner's choice how effectively you want it to learn, because all the sources are available with you. How effectively you are going to make use of the system and source, that is going to make your career bright. Okay, that is where the problem with the generally people. So same session, same class, same trainer, but different result, person to person different result. It depends on how you are going to deal with it, the subject. ఎప్పుడు మనకి ఎవడో ఒకటి చెప్తా ఉండాలి, వెనక నుంచి తొయ్యాలనుకున్నారు అనుకోండి, ఎప్పటికీ బాగుపడలేదు. గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి, ఎవరైనా మీరే కాదు నేనే కాదు, ఎవరైనా. సో ఆల్వేస్ ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ సమ్వన్ టు హోల్డ్ యువర్ హ్యాండ్ అండ్ టేక్ యూ ఫార్వర్డ్, I don't want to say what is it in reality. Okay, but that is not the right way to lead. It is always you can understand yourself, you can analyze yourself, and you are going to help yourself. Okay, that is the best way. So because already we provided everything, we provided the documentation, practical screenshot by screenshot. If you are facing issue, it means two things. One is you did not understand the concept, and the second one is you did not follow the screenshots. Just a copy paste work also someone not able to do. Okay, so this type of things, like whenever you are looking for my help, suppose if I am not available, once or twice you will just try your level best to get me, but third time and fourth time you're not going to try further, and even you will never try to help yourself. You are looking for me, as a result you will not be ready to help yourself. What will happen finally? Two things will happen. One is you will not be able to learn Pega. Second one is you are going to build some sort of negative opinion about me. Other than that, nothing will happen. Okay, but ultimate loser is, I don't have to say. Okay, because we come across many people. So, and even for the practicals also, I don't know how long you are staying here for offline students and all, and for online it's that you have to do by yourself. Declare constraint is client side or server side? Someone was asking. What is your experience now? It is client side only. Declare constraint is client side, rule edit validate is client side, and rule obj validate is server side validation. And what about your practicals? All of you, are you in parallel with the practice? Every one of you, I'm asking. Everyone, including online. In how many of you feeling that the session is running a little bit faster? How many of you have such a feeling that session is running a little bit faster? How many of you are there? No, it's okay. See, maybe some people, they don't open their mouth, okay, but they may feel like that, okay, because I can understand the mindset of the people, okay. I have seen so many students so far. See, if you feel like session is running faster than initial days, you do not know anything about it. You don't know anything about Pega. We need to take it slow. And now, after teaching validation concept, after teaching edit, validate, and rule obj validate, we don't need to teach again from in the same pace for constraints. Constraint can be taken a little bit faster pace because you already have information and some idea about it. And one more thing is, all your practicals or any session that is happening, if you closely observe so far, every day topic is depending on previous topics, mostly 90%, 95%. Today's topic is not standalone. We worked on rule obj validate. We worked on obj open my handle. I did not simply teach you the requirement related to only obj open my handle and fetch single record and display in UI. I taught in a different way. Anyhow, fetching single record and displaying in UI, you know by obj open. Again, why do we need to implement the same requirement? So we implemented a requirement where we utilized all different methods that we have experienced so far. Every concept that we learned, we implemented in one single business requirement. That is obj open my handle requirement. We implemented locking concept. We implemented rollback, release, work unlock, okay, commit, and obj browse, for loops, obj save, obj save, property set. Everything we implemented in single requirement. If you want to understand the requirement in depth, you must be knowing about previous topics. Previous topics practice is not there. What I can do? I cannot do anything. See, I am going in my own pace of making it understandable to everyone, considering the fact that the knowledge being delivered today depends on previous day knowledge. Okay. If you are lagging with your practicals or theoretical part or understanding the subject in the past topics, it is very much common, usual, you will not be able to catch up today. And even the practicals also, if you are lagging, going forward, you may find that the sessions will be running faster than past. That is not because I will be teaching faster. That is only because you did not practice. Please understand that. Okay, even if you are blaming me, I never bother about it because I know what I am. Okay, because I come across so many students, okay, pointing the things like this. Even very few days back, also 5 days back, if you go to Google reviews of Harsha training, someone has written a review, lengthy review. So the review is like this. Okay, so this is the first thing. This is worst institute. Okay, first point. And second point is Harsha is a stupid fellow. Third point is he is money minded. And the next point is that we are being given with the facility to practice offline, but we have to practice ourselves. He will not be available for doubts. How I would be available for everyone? Do you have the required material provided or not? Do you have the session taken or not? You might have attended schooling, right? Is your teacher available for you for 24/7? Anytime. We are providing video recording. We are providing this. We are providing that. We are providing everything. Then why do we need to be available all the ways? There must be some mistake you have done. So my intention is you always have to learn not only development, copy based. You need to learn about troubleshooting also by yourself. That's most important. People, when they see red color error message itself, first they take the screenshot and send the screenshot in what? They don't even read it. Then whose problem is it is? Is it my problem or your problem? See, we need to understand. This is the main reason we were not able to learn anything during our engineering graduation. Mainly, we don't know what we are learning. First of all, we always depend on all-in-one. That's it. There is something called Spectrum all-in-one. Question and answers are there. One day before the exam we study, if possible even 1 hour only, and we write the exam. We'll blame JNTU University and the highly qualified professors of the India, and we blame them saying that they don't know how to design subjects. Then whose problem? It is student problem or the professors? They've seen so much in their life. They know what subject to be given to the candidate of what level of capability. But we blame them. JNTU itself is difficult. Why JNTU is difficult? Why your university subject is difficult? The same system many people have studied and they were able to do it at its best. Correct. Why you are not able to do it? Because that is your problem, not the system problem. So try to understand it. Okay, it's very simple to blame some other people. At the end of the day, if you point your finger to others, one finger, 4 fingers will be in your direction. Who will be the? I'll be loser once, you'll be loser 4 times. That's the problem. Okay, so I will be available if it is required. So if you have done any research by yourself and bring that research to me. And the second project, how many of you have started? So you question yourself before you do some of things like this, whether we are doing what we have to exactly. Okay, if you are doing everything properly, then you can think about other persons. So without that, how you can blame? Okay, and see, you talk about the academy, no problem. You talk about the personal bullying also there. Okay, after the session, he will go and he will do trading. I do trading, I do investment. That is my money, that is my knowledge, that is my wish to do or not, right? You don't need to write all that, correct? It shows the person. Ultimately, if someone, a person with a minimum common sense, if they read the comment, they will understand this is personal harassment. You talk about the academy, no problem. Why do you talk about my career? That's not required. So, and one more thing, I am money minded. Am I taking your money? Any one of us, are we ready to work for any organization for free of cost without taking salary for 1 month at least? Are you ready? Any one of us ready? We are never ready. Why we are never ready? We do not want to service for free of cost. We are investing our knowledge, and we are, as an investment return, we are getting the return. That's in the form of money. Okay, that's it. You're utilizing your skill for an organization, and the organization is paying you back. You're not going to work for any company without money. So taking salary, you are not money minded. I'm taking my salary from you. That's it. Nothing other than that. So please think about it. Okay. So we generally request people to write the review at the end of the session, but I'm going to ask your batch to write the review so far. Okay. So far, you consider to write the review of not only in your own perspective, you consider the process. So what is the defined process and up to what level you are following the process? That also you need to consider. Okay, you are following it properly. Everything is right from your end. Okay, then that is the problem. Whether you are on track, whether you are doing everything on time. So you need to think about all of these things before you act on something. Okay. So so this is the best place, and the as far as I know, you go and look at the institutions in some other places. You do not even have a facility to sit and practice. Is it the mistake that we have given the facility? At least you can be good, feel good. The facility is there first of all. Okay, you are there to coordinate and work together with other students. facility itself is not there. What you have to do? You have to practice individually. Yes, please. Online someone.
Harsha, when should we actually think of giving these certifications?
See, certification you can give anytime. See, let me tell you one thing. Once we finish the topic of routing, you can give. But see, certification exam, you might have experienced our this one. I created your exam profile. You can start taking that. Did you receive any notification about it? Okay, you'll receive it today. We create probably by today, end of the day, we created all your profiles. What you need to do is we'll provide you the login credentials and all. You need to log in, activate the account. Then you'll see the assessment, take the assessment. You might have already experienced taking an assessment where you find more than one answer is true, where you got confused, and 99% of you are not able to do that. One specific question, right? I don't know how many of you are able to answer 10 out of 10. It is impossible actually, because the way the question is framed is different. Okay, and that is the same case even for the CSA exam. The problem with the exam, certification exam, is it is multiple choice question. Options may be 4, options may be 6 sometimes. Out of 6, you may be asking to choose 3. Out of 3, you choose 2 correct one, third one wrong, entire question will be wrong. There is no negative mark, but you will not get the positive mark. So there is one problem with this exam. For a learner, it is very much possible that you get confused. Okay, you will get confused during the exam. I've seen many people fail with 2%, 3%, 5% like that. Means 2 or 3 questions you might have done wrong. 1 question wrong also many people have failed. So your knowledge is true. Don't bother about or don't worry about it. You can test it one or the other way around. Okay, not a big deal. But exam is a little bit confusion. Okay, so for this,